Hey guys, here we go again. Another Tesla Model 3 Standard Plus Edition video. So I've went to the supercharging station recently, charged the car from almost zero all the way to the maximum capacity, which is 240 for the Standard Plus. I want to show you guys and share what my results were, how long it took me, and how fast the battery was able to charge full capacity. So stick around and let's get into the video. Alright, so here we are at another supercharging station, and let's just go ahead and start with this experiment. I drove the car as far as I can to the lowest point of the battery, and I have it at 7 miles, as you can see in the battery right there, 7 miles up to bottom, from the bottom. So also have the settings to completely fill the battery to the very top. So usually I have it at 90%, but for this experiment I change it all the way to the very top, so we'll have estimation how long this is gonna take. We're gonna start at around 641, and at 7 miles left in battery is what I'm gonna be starting off with. So yeah, let's see how long this is gonna take. I'm using the standard battery, or the standard range plus Model 3, and let's see how this car performs. I went outside and plugged this thing up. There's not many people around at this point. Actually, when I started, I was one of 2 people in this charging station. So, you know, let's see how it turned out. Okay, we just plugged it in. It's about maybe a minute after I plugged it in. The car is still initializing, and it says it's supercharging right now, as you can see, but the speed has not yet warmed up the battery. If you look at the bottom, it says 41 kilowatt per hour, so it's not really going as fast as it needs to. It's just kind of like reconditioning the battery. It takes about a few minutes for that to happen, and so far, since it's been 1 minute, and it has gone up by 1 mile, 2 miles so far. So yeah, so it's gonna take a minute or 2. And here we go. It's been 2 more minutes. 2 minutes later, or 3 minutes later, it's 6:43. The car has gained about 11 miles, as you can see right there, and the speed is now around the 70s and 80 kilowatt, 81, 82, 83, as you can see at the bottom of the screen right there, 86, 87. So the more the battery warms up, it just takes a minute or 2, and it's gonna top up at 101, 101 is the top up. So that's the maximum speed that this guy is gonna take this such. Oh look, that's another black Model 3. Anyways, it just takes a minute. So 5 minutes later, what the car has done is increased its battery range to 29. 29 minus 7 is 22. So it says on the bottom there 22, 23. So it gained about 25 miles in the last 5 minutes since plugging it in. So it's 6:45, and it says on the top right there, and I gained 24 miles. So that kind of gives you an idea of when the battery is below 50%, the charge of how much energy goes to the battery, it reaches the top up at 101, 102 kilowatt on a supercharger. That's pretty impressive, guys. So it's gonna maintain that level. Alright guys, so once again, we started 10 minutes ago, and we started with 7 miles left in the battery. It's now been 10 minutes, and in 10 minutes worth of time, we've gathered about 60 miles into this charge. We started at 640, it's now 650. We started with 7, it's now 70 miles. And the speed we're going at, 101 kilowatt per hour, that's the rate. So far we've added 64 miles in the last 11 minutes of charging. And so far it's costing me $2.92 into this charge. Alright guys, here it is. Once again, it's been about 15 minutes since I plugged it in, and so far we've gathered 100 miles into the charge. 100 miles into the charge, but I started out at 640. It's now 6:56, in about 16 minutes, and I've gathered 101 miles. 101 miles in 15 minutes, folks. We started out with almost zero, and I tried to start with as low zero as I could before plugging it in to give you guys an exact approximation of the performance of charging a Tesla car. So this is the conveniency of what Tesla can give you. The type of charging, the type of charging network, and the speed at which this battery can charge in this small brief amount of time is outstanding. Alright guys, so here it is. It's been almost 30 minutes since I charged this car, and since charging it in almost 30 minutes ago, I've managed to gather 153 miles, and the cost of which it cost me $9.24 so far. So there it is, $9.24 for 151 miles in about 30 minutes of charging from 7 miles. So I had 7 miles left in the battery, and 30 minutes later, this is the result. So what I want to mention is the fact that, as you see now, the battery has increased over the 50% mark, but the first 50% it was being charged at a speed of 102 kilowatts. Alright guys, so here's a quick update. It's now 7:23. We started at 6:40. So there's 40 minutes of charging this car, and so far we've gathered a cost of $11.48, and we've managed to put 192 miles into this battery. And so far we're going at the slowest 24-25 kilowatt. Something to keep in mind, and something I'd like to mention: the more you come close to charging to the 100% battery, the slower the charge rate becomes. So right now we're at 24 kilowatts. Earlier it was around when the battery was like right here or so, it was going around 30, high 30s, low 40s. And when it was like around 50 to 60%, it was going around 60 kilowatt. And anything below 50%, it was going around 101, 102 full max speed. So something to mention, you know, the fastest charge in the first 50% of the battery capacity. The sooner it gets to 100, the slower the battery charging becomes. So something to mention. I'm pretty close to getting 100% here, so I'll see you on the next day. Guys, another update. It's 7:38. It's almost an hour since plugging it in. We started at 7 miles into the charge. We're now at 214. We got to the point where usually this setting is around, you don't normally put it on all the way to 100%. Usually you conserve 10% of the charge, because that's what Tesla is advised all of us to do. Unless you're going for a long trip, then you go ahead and charge it all the way to fullest battery capacity. But I just want to mention that from 7 miles per hour, or a complete almost depleted point of 7 miles left into the charge, to an hour later, about an hour later now, I've managed to get 214. Up to this point is where the battery would be completely charged, because usually the setting would be, would be over here as far as your maximum normally for daily driving trips, right? To daily driving, usually it's right, limit will be at the very tip, so right there. So it's a bit over it right now, just maybe a hair or two. But that's where you want to stop the battery from charging. With that point, again, it's been almost an hour from 7 miles left into the charge up to, what is it now, up to that point of where you should stop. So if you were just to normally charge at setting of daily driving, expect an hour of charging this car from almost zero to that point. Quick summary of what I've discovered with the Tesla Model 3 Standard Plus. It takes about an hour to charge this car completely from to 200 and what is it now, 216, 215. Alright guys, it's nighttime. About 3 other people out here. There's another one over here. Let's go and take a look at the progress of the charging of the battery. So there we go. We are
we're at 239 miles. So we've been charging since 6:40. It's now 8:10, and we've managed to gather 233 miles into this charge. So it takes quite a bit of time to charge it from 7 miles, 239. The very impressive part is the fact that it charged from 10% to like 50% at a whopping. So we've just hit 240 right there, 240 miles into this charge. The car is completely charged up. From 6:40 to 8:12 is the amount of time this car was able to charge. On the side as well, you guys take a look at that, just to kind of show you guys that I did charge this and I did capture this in real time. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Oh yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you guys in for another more of my video. This car, Tesla Model 3 Standard Plus. For those guys that are thinking of buying this car, it's a very good car. Really good value for your money. Seriously, it's only for $35,000 you can get this performance of charging the car. It's really incredible. Also wanted to tell you guys how much it cost. $14.28 right there for the charge.
Quick video. This is where you find my referral link. On the bottom of each video there's a description box, and in it you will find the referral link. Click on that referral link and get you to this design your will get you to this referral page. As you can see, this is my referral page. By doing that, you'll get 5,000 miles of free supercharging miles in any of this car to your reserve. As you can see, I have made one referral link only, and so I really appreciate you guys using my referral code instead of the other bigger YouTubers, and that would be a really good help in our channel. As you see, it pops you, once you click it pops you to the regular Tesla websites where you can design the car. The only difference is that there's a notice saying that you'll get these free reward by using a referral link from our channel. So thanks you guys for watching, and I hope you guys use the referral link, and welcome to the Tesla family. I have a lot of ideas and want to let you guys know how great of a car this is for the money that is invested in it. It's a very good, very cool car to have. I really would like to have you guys more videos to come. Thanks guys, and Millennial Vet channel signing off. See you again.